Hi dear friends. So today I'm back again with another wonderful recipe. It's crispy honey chicken, and this chicken really tastes well, good, and I'm sure that if you make it, you will really enjoy it. So without much ado, let's go on to the recipe. The ingredients for this are: you have lightly fried sesame seeds, okay, about a teaspoon, and then you have tomato ketchup 2 teaspoons, ginger garlic paste 1.5 teaspoons, chili powder about 1 teaspoon, garam masala about 1 teaspoon, and 1 egg. And I have here half a kg of chicken. This is boneless chicken, and I've cut it into strips. Okay, it can be medium-sized strips. So it has to be thin, not too thick, but thin and long if you want it to be long, or you can make it into small bits like this. Okay, so we are going to add in a few things and marinate this chicken. So for this, we will be first adding in the ginger garlic paste. The ginger garlic paste goes in. So we have the ginger garlic paste, and then you add in your garam masala, just about half of what you've kept. You don't have to add in the whole thing because we need this for the sauce. So just keep that aside. Half of the garam masala you can add in, and then you add in the chili powder, and then you add in a little bit of soya sauce. So we'll be adding dark soya sauce. Just a little bit goes into the marinade, and you'll also need this soya sauce for your sauce after you fry this. So here about a teaspoon of soya sauce, and then a little bit of salt. Salt, as I said, you can use according to taste, and don't use too much salt because you've already got salt in the soya sauce. So just add in a very little bit of salt into the marinade. So this crispy honey chicken, it's like a very easy dish which children enjoy, and they really like it a lot because it tastes just like the restaurant crispy chili chicken. The crispy honey chicken. So I've added everything in, and now I need to add the egg. And you need to break it and drop it in here. So this egg helps in binding. So all we need to do is now mix this well. Okay, so you can mix this together with all the ingredients. And this particular recipe, I found it to be very, very useful because at home everybody loves this crispy honey chicken, and it turns out really good. So once you give it a nice mix and the pieces are all coated, now it's coated with the egg too, so it's a little, watery and liquidy. So now we need to add in the corn flour. So the corn flour, I have corn flour here, and I'll be adding in say about 3/4 cup because it has to be well coated. This has to really get coated. Each piece has to get coated with the corn flour. So let's just coat it. It has to get a little, dry with the corn flour. so that when you fry it, it becomes nice and crispy. So add the corn flour and give it a nice mix, and if you feel that it's still a little watery, then you can add in more. Okay, so I had about 3/4 cup of corn flour for half a kg of chicken. Usually the whole thing will be used because it takes in quite a lot. If you don't add too much of corn flour, then your chicken doesn't turn out to be crispy. So corn flour is an essential part of this recipe for it to become nice and hard and crispy. So, and now, okay, so it's like coated well with the corn flour and all the masalas. Now you need to marinate this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, and after that we come back and we deep fry these pieces. It takes quite some time because I have half a kg here. So you just have to heat the oil and deep fry this. So I'll come back and let's fry it. After 15 minutes we'll come back and we'll fry the chicken. Get some oil now which has heated up well, and I have my chicken here which was sitting and marinating for about 15 minutes. And now I'm just going to take each piece and drop it in the oil. So all these pieces have to be well fried. It's coated well, and it looks great with the corn flour also. It's all coated well. This has to fry crispy. It has to become crispy. So you have to fry it till it gets a little light brown, or maybe crispy fried. You can make out when you're frying it. It'll be hard. So till then you have to deep fry the chicken. These pieces need to be nicely fried. So I hope everybody is safe and sound at home during the lockdown. Things are really getting bad. Do stay at home, try all these recipes, eat, have fun and exercise. Okay, so this is good. Yeah. So we deep fry this. Sometimes when you're frying it, because of the corn flour, it gets stuck. The pieces get stuck to each other. You just have to gently tap it, and it let go, and it separates from the pieces from each other. So you just have to gently tap it, because they stick to each other because of the corn flour. So we let it fry. Let it fry for about 10 to 15 minutes, because the chicken has to also get cooked. Sometimes when you keep the stove on a high flame, it can get browned very fast, but then it won't be cooked inside. So keep the flame on medium so that the chicken gets cooked well. Otherwise it browns on the outside, but the chicken won't be cooked inside. So it has to cook well. That chicken has a lot of dangers if you don't cook it well. It has salmonella bacteria and all this stuff, so the chicken has to really get cooked. It's getting nicely browned and it's getting cooked. The chicken has browned well and it's cooked, so all we need to do is remove it from the flame, drain all the oil. Can you see it's nice and crispy? So that's why it's called crispy honey chicken. So remove the pieces from the oil. Once it's removed, drain all the oil and put it on a plate with tissues, so any oil that's on it can drain off and it will be absorbed by the tissue. So you leave it there and then we fry the next batch and we'll come back. Welcome back guys, and now I finished frying all the chicken. It's all deep fried and now we need to make the sauce. So for the sauce, in a pan I've taken about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil and heated it. And so the first thing you do is, I have finely chopped garlic here, so I'm going to add the garlic. Garlic gives a very good flavor and taste to any dish, and especially Chinese dishes. Normally they use a lot of garlic, so I've finely chopped about say 1 whole pod of garlic. So let it brown a little, and as it's browning, stir it a little bit so it gets brown. Not too brown, just for about say about a minute you can just fry it. Sorry, not a minute, few seconds. Yeah, so just a few seconds you fry the garlic, and then I have here finely chopped onion. I've taken 1 medium-sized onion and chopped it fine. So you can drop in the onion too. Normally we also add spring onions, but I was not able to get spring onions, so I've just added the normal onion. So even this has to be fried for a few seconds, about 5 seconds or so. It shouldn't get too browned because it loses the flavor if it browns too much. So just stir it a little and for a few seconds, that's it. Now I start adding the sauces and the spices. So first I'm going to add, this is chili, red chili sauce, about 1.5 teaspoons of red chili sauce. And when you're making this, when you're doing this particular process, you can put the stove to sim, because otherwise it will all start getting brown. So, and then I have tomato ketchup here, so about 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup, and then I add in the garam masala, just about 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala, and a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of soya sauce. Say about 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of soya sauce. And then the most important ingredient is honey. So I have here about 3 tablespoons of honey. So add in the honey. That is why it's called crispy honey chicken. So stir it well. Bring the stove to high again, the flame to high. Stir it a little bit, and once it's just starting to give a boil, then you can add in the fried chicken. So this has created a nice nice sauce, a gravy, and all the pieces are going to get coated with this. Okay, so now I start adding in the chicken pieces. Pieces have been fried well and it's nice and crispy. So add all the chicken into the gravy or the sauce here. So once this is done, stir it well. Let all the chicken pieces get well coated, and you can see, it's getting all nice and glossy because of the honey and the sauces. It's getting all coated. So see that all the pieces get coated well with the sauce, with the honey and the onions and everything. So it's all getting nicely coated. Yummy. Yeah. Okay. So now this is done. If you have spring onions, this is the point at which you can cut up, a little bit of spring onions and drop it in. So now the dish is done. Crispy honey chicken is done. So let's put it onto a serving dish. It'll be crispy outside and it'll be nice and soft inside. Okay, so it's done, and here's the crispy honey chicken, and the final touch is the sesame seeds. So all you need to do is fry the sesame seeds, fry it, and then you can just take a little bit and sprinkling it over the chicken. So this is like a garnish, and of course if you have spring onions, you can cut that also, and it adds a little color, the green. So I didn't have spring onions, so I'm just using the sesame seeds. So here it is, nice crispy honey fried chicken for you. Do try this recipe at home and let me know how it turns out and in your comments. Have a good day. Bye.